This is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks says the team has not considered cutting Kyrie Irving, who's been suspended for at least 5 games. Irving did send out an apology on Instagram, but Marks says Irving still has work to do.
There is going to be some remedial steps and measures that have been put in place for him to obviously seek some counseling, designated by the team from dealing with some anti-hate and some Jewish leaders within our community.
Sean Marks, the Nets play the Wizards tonight in D.C. The new college basketball season tips off Monday. Kentucky coach John Calipari says he'd be stunned if preseason All-American Oscar Tshiebwe is available for the opener against Howard, and he may miss some time after that. Tshiebwe is coming back from a knee procedure in October. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports Commanders wideout Jahan Dotson will likely be out Sunday against the Vikings with a sore hamstring. And defensive end Chase Young is also out as he recovers from a torn ACL last November.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It is a football Friday on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Can't get us on the terrestrial signal? Well, that's okay. You can get us on the iHeartRadio app and take us with you everywhere you go. You can also get with us on YouTube, see our beautiful faces each and every day. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. You'll also get those live alerts whenever we are live here in the studio. You'll especially want that for this Sunday for the Fantasy Game Time Decisions show.
You've also got the long-awaited mock draft that apparently has taken me 4 years to edit down, but it's almost done and will be out tomorrow.
Indeed, indeed. So look forward to the 2-round mid-season 2023 NFL way too early mock draft by Jeremy Greene coming out tomorrow. And, of course, it's a Football Friday here in the Sportsocracy, and we've got our usual guest picker in with us. Flostradamus winning the weekly matchup at 8-5.
It's a good week.
It was a good
solid week.
Yeah.
Could have been 10-3. And if it wasn't for West Virginia and the worst bad beat in the history of bad beats, I would be much more angry about it than I am.
Jeremy making up ground on the leader in the clubhouse, which was the Chief. And now they're tied. And now I am in last place, all by my lonesome. Just a game behind the Chief and Jeremy. Asheville Police Chief Zack joining us here in the Ingles studio. Beat the Chief, always brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt. Zach of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Chief, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Doing all right. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen you. I know it's only been a week, but
I always feel that way as well. I miss you guys. I miss you guys.
See, I get to see him on Thursday as well. because I'm here when he does Mark Starling's show.
That's true. Anyway, we appreciate everybody joining us here on a Football Friday. We pick every game in the NFL slate against the spread. So far this season, Chief and Jeremy, 54-57-2. I am 53-58-2.
I got back to 500 picking college games last week. I will get back to 500 picking NFL games this week, and it will be fly, mullet, fly.
We will see. We'll see who wins this week's version of Beat the Chief. First game up, the Buffalo Bills take on the New York Jets. Did I do it right?
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
Don't ever do that again. That's you're not allowed. You said fire earlier in reference to you said something was fire, and within an hour, that word was now no longer usable.
So we've got the Chiefs Bills against Jeremy's Jets. It's going to be in New York. Well, in
New Jersey.
In New Jersey, not in New York, because if it was in New York, it'd have to be in Buffalo. But so your team, Chief, is an 11.5-point favorite against the upstart Jets. How do you feel?
Going with me first, huh?
I'll let you break the ice.
Yeah, you're the favorite. It might be both of our teams, but you're the.
Well, here's the thing. No, I know your listeners obviously think I'm a homer. They are correct.
Yes.
You're no worse than him.
I am a homer. I am a homer. I'm not going to deny that, but there's some rationale as well. I mean, Buffalo over the last 2 years in games with their 10-point or more favorites are 6-2-2. So it actually does make sense. Now, I do not like this line at all because I think the Jets are vastly improved. Mm-hmm. But I'm still taking the Bills for that reason.
Okay.
And the fact that I'm a homer.
Yeah, I'm also a homer. Yeah, I'm glad that you freely admit it.
I freely admit it, but there is some rationale behind it as well.
All right,
the numbers dictate.
Yeah, taking the Bills minus 11.5 against Jeremy's Jets.
Look, I am the only one in this segment that can be considered not a homer. But 11.5 is a lot of points, which is why Jets, Jets, smoked. Good Lord, we're going to get beat by 70. Buffalo Bills, this is the easiest pick of the week.
Buffalo Bills, all right.
If Josh Allen scores 14 points, that is probably enough to cover this line. Jets defense is good. Without Breece Hall, you need that bye week.
Yeah, the Breece Hall thing is
Look, and I'll be honest with you, I think this is one of those games. This is going to get a little three-dimensional chess, which Tank always accuses me of going. After the Patriots loss, that was one of the more gutting losses I've had in the last probably 10 years. Mm-hmm. This Bills game is perfectly timed. Because it wouldn't matter when you play them. You're not beating this team. You cannot hang with them. So you take this one, you take your lump, you go into the bye week with 2 losses, which makes it easier for Robert Saleh to rally the troops, and then the schedule really leans out on the backside. I'm fine with this. Buffalo wins by, I'll say the final here's 31-13. I don't think it'll be close. Jets will score accidentally. Mm-hmm. Probably on a Buffalo turnover because for some reason your team does love to turn the ball over. If you didn't turn the ball over, you'd be beating teams by 40.
Got a little sloppy in that Green Bay. Well, of course, I was there.
Yep.
I was in the stands cheering them on. And, yeah, I did. The second half was inexplicable the way they played. And Allen got super sloppy, but I don't think he does that again. I think he learned his lesson on that one.
I think the football gods make you turn it over to make it reasonably fair.
I'll go with that.
What is it Jeremy likes to say in these instances? Not so fast, my friends.
Oh, God, I love this pick so much more.
I'm taking it. I'm reclaiming it because Jeremy tried to take it away from me. I had last year, famously, Jets +7 against the New England Patriots, and I'm taking the New York Jets plus the 11.5 against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo does have a propensity to turn the ball over, and it's that young upstart defense of New York that I think will be able to keep this game close. There will be some ill-timed turnovers. You guys probably win by 10. I mean, by no stretch do I think the Jets are going to win this game.
He's using my logic from last week.
But 11.5 points is a whole lot of points to be given, especially against the defense this tough.
So we're both on Buffalo.
Yes.
You're on the Jets.
Yes.
Chief, your lovely wife is a real estate agent. Is there any possibility she knows somebody that could liquidate my house in the next 36 hours? Because if at all possible, I would love to double my net worth. Because that's feeling like the bet of the year.
If anybody could do it, she could.
100%. You know what's funny? I said that, and I feel like she's listening going, I could totally do that.
Clarissa sells WBNC.com, by the way. If that sounds like an appealing thing to you, if you also would like to put your house on the line for the Buffalo Bills, just because I'm picking the New York Jets to cover the spread, then Clarissa sells WBNC.com.
Tank, do you have any property you're interested in moving?
I might have to. I mean, I keep putting the kiss of death on people's teams. Hell, for a second there, I thought we did our mid-season second half projections, and I went, screw it. I went Philadelphia Eagles 17-0, win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to be honest with you, when it was kind of close last night, it was 14-14 ball game. I went, no, it's not going to be good for me. I went 17-0, and they just lost to the Houston Texans somehow. No, that game was never in doubt. But, anyway, I'm taking the New York Jets plus the 11.5. You guys on the Buffalo Bills to cover on the road against the Jets. Miami Dolphins go to Chicago to take on the Bears. And Miami's only a 4.5-point favorite. I feel like that's dumb. Dumb. Miami should be able to score at will. And I don't feel – I mean, the Bears, I don't know what they're doing right now. I mean, they gutted the defense.
Offense is playing better.
To get trade –
it would be hard to play worse.
100%.
I mean, unless they didn't tell them which end zone they were trying to go towards, that's about the only way they could have gotten any worse.
Right. They have gutted the defense, gotten rid of the big contracts to get some draft picks, and then they inexplicably gave up a second-round draft pick for a guy who's not worth it in Chase Claypool.
Say this out loud. They gave up Roquan Smith for Chase Claypool.
Mm-hmm.
You see how stupid that sounds when you say it that way?
Indeed.
Well, and a fifth-round pick and A.J. Klein, which really that sways it.
Yeah, Put you over the top.
I don't think this ball game's ever close. I got Miami minus the 4.5. Easy.
This is a stat that I'm going to use in bangers coming up at the end of every hour of this here program. There are 3 teams in all of high-level college football and the NFL where what I'm getting ready to say is true. If you look at the advanced metrics and use estimated points added per play, the Chicago Bears would be better off punting on first down.
Wow.
That tells you everything you need to know. Dolphins by 1 billion. The fact that this is only 4.5, look, there are times that Vegas will throw out a number and go, come on, get the candy. Come on, get the candy. And I feel like they're doing that to Bears fans right now. Oh, look, you played better against Dallas, who's not very good. And now you get the Miami Dolphins, who are good, and you are going to get smoked like a deli meat.
Asheville Police Chief David Zack, where do you lie on this one?
I can't add much more to what's already been said. We'll go with the Dolphins as well. Too much firepower.
Dolphins across the board. The Minnesota Vikings go to take on the Washington Commanders this week. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite. And I feel like this line is almost as dumb as the Miami line.
Proceed.
Minnesota by 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Washington scattered, smothered, covered, chunked, diced, whatever you do to your hash browns at Waffle House, that is going to be the Washington Commanders.
Asheville Police Chief David Zack.
He's got something interesting he's got to say here.
100%.
But I think he knows, because I think he knows which way I'm going. The Vikings' offense is so much better. Commanders' offense, defense is playing a lot better lately, but they don't score enough. and the Vikings do. I was surprised at the line being as low as it was as well. So that's the way I'm going. I'm going with the Vikes.
Yep.
All right, so you're both going Minnesota?
Absolutely.
That just warms my soul because it gives me the opportunity to go, not so fast, my friend. 82% of the money is on Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why? I'm not a narrative guy by any stretch. Ron Rivera's mom died earlier this week. This is one of those times that I feel like Vegas has baited you into just load up, because this line doesn't make any sense. And we're all three in agreement here. The line makes zero sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because basically what this is saying is if we played this in Minnesota, Washington would be less than a touchdown dog. That's dumb-dumb, da-dum-dum, da-dum-dum. Which means somebody somewhere knows something. And I feel like Washington's going to win this game. This is my upset pick of the week. Give me the Commanders.
Washington plus the 3 for Jeremy Greene. Yeah, maybe that sentimental thing will work for old Ron Rivera.
I employed the same the 9/11 strategy when the Giants were at home last year.
Yeah.
That failed miserably.
It often does. It doesn't always work. I think this week it will.
Green Bay Packers go to Detroit to take on the Lions. This is still a team that Jeremy believes in.
The Lions?
Yeah, no, the Packers. Me, not so much. Good thing is they're facing the Lions this week. We'll give you our picks coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome your guest into a clean, healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis to give you a greater understanding. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring. things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Back in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief Zack. Brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWBNC.com if you need to buy or sell a home, or if you just want to check out the houses that are on the market. I know there are a lot of people that just have fun doing that.
Well, don't do that. That's just a great big waste of time.
I'm going to jump in on that one. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Be a serious buyer.
Yeah.
Be a serious buyer.
No, I'm just saying, it's a website that you can peruse. You can check out
the website. Yeah, sure.
Don't call anybody.
You can check out.
No. I spent enough of my life in sales. If you're not actually buying something, how about you just maybe stay away?
You check out the homes.
Check out the website.
And then
check
when
out
you're
the
ready
website.
to buy,
of course,
you definitely get in touch with Clarissa at ClarissaSellsWBNC.com. We are picking the games, NFL games against the spread, as we do each and every week. Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Green Bay Packers are a 3.5-point favorite. Chief, you want to break the ice on this one?
Well, got to see the Packers play live last week.
Yep.
I never saw a team try harder not to win. Not to win, where they down 17, continually ran the ball. They were never in it and didn't try. And I was even sitting with a bunch of Packer fans and saying, what's the deal here? Are you guys going to throw? They were furious. They were furious. And apparently Von Miller said something to Aaron Rodgers like, are you guys going to throw? And he had some sort of derogatory comment, not directed at Von Miller.
Well, of course.
So
yeah, you don't poke that.
So apparently they just didn't want to get embarrassed. What would be really embarrassing would be to lose to the Lions this week. So I don't think that's going to happen. I don't understand the Hawkinson trade by the Lions. I'll take the Pack minus the 3.5.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really understand the Hawk trade either. They said they didn't want to pay him, which, okay, but I'm going to use Chief Zack's line when we talked about this in the break. Well, who are you going to pay? Because there's not that many players on this team. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Look, Detroit's just listless. Green Bay wins this. They smoke them. This is the start of the resurgence of the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know about all that. I don't know if this is the resurgence, but this is Aaron Rodgers going up against a god-awful defense. And I don't care. I mean, I can't tell you who the star's going to be for that offense. Maybe it's Romeo Doubs.
I'm going to say it's Aaron Jones.
Well, I mean, yeah, they'll be able to run the ball at will. But if Aaron's going to do anything through the air, I don't know who's going to be the recipient of it. I don't think it's going to be Alan Lazard. I think he's already been ruled out for Sunday. But I can't. I mean, this would be an embarrassment among all embarrassments for Aaron Rodgers and company to go on the road and lose to Detroit. So I'll take the Green Bay Packers minus the 3.5, even though I did think about it a little bit. Indianapolis Colts, no Jonathan Taylor this week.
It's a Deion Jackson week.
And they go to New England to take on the Patriots, who are a 6-point favorite against the Colts at home.
This
Jeremy?
was one of the hardest games for me this week. This line stinks. With no Jonathan Taylor, this should have swelled the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. Why? There's two ways for me to look at this. Last week's a big win for New England. This could be a tremendous letdown spot. I just don't know that Indianapolis – I don't know that Indianapolis can do anything with it. You're giving me an offense that's based around Paris Campbell and Deion Jackson and Sam Ehlinger.
Mm-hmm.
Woof. Yeah, last week I had the theory of Sam Ehlinger has to be better than we think because Frank Reich is hinging his job on it. Here's something I didn't think about. Maybe Frank Reich wants to get fired. Maybe he wants to dance. Maybe he wants to go to South Beach and live his life, and he's tired of being in the cold and dealing with Jim Irsay. New England.
New England minus the 6. I'm right there with you. I don't think this deserves a whole lot of breakdown. There's one team that has so many. Both of these teams have a lot of flaws. Problem is, I get Bill Belichick on one side. I got Frank Reich on the other side. I feel like the Patriots will not let this opportunity for momentum pass.
I agree with you both. I'll take the Pats.
Oh, I thought there was a butt coming there. He set that up like he was going to go, not so fast, my friend.
No. Chief's smart. He knows the play here. And it's New England.
Let's go with that.
If there was a Jonathan Taylor, to me it would be we could have
a possibly different outcome.
Right.
Yeah,
they
could keep it close.
Even though he hasn't been great this year.
It would at least be worth talking about.
Exactly.
I don't feel like it's worth talking about.
The Los Angeles Chargers make the trip across the country down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
Now, this game, on the other hand, this is worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. Chargers are a 3-point favorite on the road at Atlanta. Obviously, West Coast coming East Coast, 1 o'clock kickoff. That's not good.
Falcons 6-2 against the spread. Yep. Coming off an emotional victory.
0-2 in the last 2 weeks, though.
Whoopee woo.
Yeah, I don't care either. I got Atlanta plus the 3 because the Chargers are they're super disappointing, and these games are tough against teams that you actually believe in and teams that are consistent. They are so hurt. I think they very well could lose this game, but I like Atlanta to keep it close.
This one should have been harder for me than it was. I have a slew of Chargers fans. A couple of them that work at Fred Anderson Nissan. Go there. Tell them that we sent you $250 extra on your trade. They have me in a wonderful Frontier that will allow me to do all of the manly things that I do not have the ability or, frankly, the desire to do. But I look the part now in my Frontier. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road. I have actually encouraged them go to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just think the Chargers win. I think they are going to absolutely smoke Atlanta.
Really?
What have the Chargers really struggled with? They've allowed teams to just run all over them. Why? Because J.C. Jackson was not what we thought he would be. So they're having to drop too much. You don't have to do that against Atlanta. I'm not worried about Drake London or Kyle Pitts because I can put Derwin James on Kyle Pitts and you are now irrelevant. I can put Asante Samuel on Drake London. I'm not going to say you're irrelevant, but you're going to be mitigated pretty well. This is Josh Palmer season. This is the game where you see what I have talked about Josh Palmer for 2 solid years. Okay. Chargers by 1,000,000, which means I have to go, go Chargers, go!
All right, Chief.
This is the week the Chargers got to prove whether they're a good football team or not. They lose this game, they are not a good football team. And I think they understand that. And they have to have a dominating performance. They cannot just go in and be the inconsistent team they have. And Herbert's got something to prove too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the week they do it. I'll take the Chargers.
All right. We got Jeremy and the Chief on the Chargers. I'll take Atlanta plus the 3 at home in the Dome.
That's now of our disagreements. One of them is me. The other 2 are him. It's going to be a good week.
Carolina Panthers go to take on the Cincinnati Bengals up in Ohio. And the Carolina Panthers, it's cute. This whole belief in Steve Wilkes and the PJ Walker birth of his career. And what was it? I think they said on Adam Gold's show earlier today here on ESPN Asheville, they were giving out some stats that if he qualified, if he had enough starts to qualify, he would be like 11th in the league in passer rating and all that. Like he would be up there with some of the best in the league. It's been fun. And I'm not sure that it ends this week. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers plus the 7.5.
Oh, wait, there was no punchline there?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, that's insanity. That's actually the definition of crazy. You just lost a gutting game. And why did you lose it? Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
DJ Moore. It's all his fault.
You take your helmet off. Still on the field. Well, that shouldn't have been a penalty. Well, you shouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, because here's the thing. If you don't take your helmet off, there's no opportunity for them to make that call.
Indeed.
And then you don't have to kick a PAT from the 48-yard line. That's Carolina in a nutshell. This is the reason that I have adamantly said Steve Wilkes is not a candidate for this job. I see a lot of this. And P.J. Walker, it's really cute. But saying that in his, 5 starts, he's been X, Y, Z. That's like saying because I have nice legs from the knee down that I could be a prima ballerina. Yeah, in a small sample size. Also in a small sample size, Cooper Rush looked like Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
So it works until it doesn't. And this is the week that it doesn't. Well, there's no Jamar Chase. I don't care. Because the one thing that has really been a struggle for Cincinnati is getting behind. You get behind, and now the Joe Mixon thing, he hasn't been really effective per carry. So you start loading him up on work. A ton of Joe B's passes last week were behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think it's a problem this week. This is the week that Tyler Boyd does what we said he would do last week. Give me the Bengals by, I think, quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
I think this is a big Joe Burrow game.
They will find the offense that they've been
What is the
missing.
question that I always ask? Who does this game matter more to? If you really got every Carolina Panther fan or Carolina Panther player in a room and said, "What is your high side this year?" The high sides would go 5-12 and finish dead last in the division.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. Oh, we rallied around PJ. Woo! Evan Doyle in the comments, one of our great Cincinnati Bengals fans, we said we don't have any corners. Well, that's great because Carolina only has one receiver. And Deontay Foreman. That's cute. Who they think gonna beat them Bengals?
Yeah. All right, Chief, where are you going?
Yeah, the Bengals.
He's like, yeah, I'm going the Bengals.
Yeah,
no. You're just crazy.
You're right. I mean, the Walker thing, it's adorable.
It's so cute.
Oh, it is.
Every team in the NFL had a shot at him, and they all looked at him and went, "No, we're good."
No.
And now he winds up in. I want you to. All right, look. I swear I do not have anything against Carolina. That is not why I say these things. I want you to understand what it is you're seeing. You had Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and P.J. Walker. P.J. Walker sees the field when the other two were gone. You didn't have another choice. That's now 2 coaching staffs that have looked at, a coaching staff and the remnants of a coaching staff that have looked at P.J. Walker and gone, "Nah, I'm good." For Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? They see this guy every single day.
Mm-hmm.
None of them at any point went, "Well, maybe we have something there." It's because you don't. Because you don't. And I think you're going to see it this week.
Yep. All right. I think there's something to this. There's a new confidence amongst the Carolina Panthers, and Cincinnati still struggles to protect Joe Burrow. You realize he's up to 30 sacks now on this season? That's crazy.
Because Jonah Williams is a guard.
Well, it's not just Jonah. I mean, he's a good portion of it, but it ain't just him. That line as a whole is not that good.
It's all tied back to him.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'll be on my own on that one as well. Carolina plus the 7.5. See, I got you, Panther fans. You are in the Sportsocracy.
You don't want him
here
to be the one on your
ESPN
side.
Asheville. We're playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. Brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to clarissasellswnc.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a few showers for the weekend ahead and very mild temperatures. A taste of spring in the air for this November weekend. Our low tonight, 57 degrees, 68 on Saturday with a shower or two. Chance for a light shower Sunday, 72 degrees. And mid-70s Monday and not far from records at the airport Monday afternoon. It takes us till Wednesday, Thursday next week to get back into the 60s for high temps. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Halloween is over, but hiring is still scary. Indeed's end-to-end solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Well, I'm a orthopedic surgeon, board certified.
Meet Dr. John Herzog, who's certainly done his share of knee and hip replacements. But these days, he's encouraging his patients to look at regenerative medicine options, now available at QC Kinetics.
I'm kind of the anti-surgeon right now, and a lot of my buddies, if they hear me talking, they're going to give me a call.
Dr. Herzog says advances in regenerative medicine can give your achy joints lasting relief, using highly concentrated healing agents from your own body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
We take the fluid out of you, we concentrate it, and put it in an area where they couldn't normally get to, and facilitate healing.
Are you suffering from constant pain due to arthritis or injury? Maybe it's time to look at alternatives to drugs and surgery at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in these exciting treatments.
What could be more natural than using your own body to heal yourself?
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's pro time because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVP's Pro Rewards Program terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change. Prices valid from 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com. Like winners.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Pick of the games in the NFL against the spread with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. Beat the Chief brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to clarissasellswbnc.com. Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders. This, even though it looks on paper like a game that you probably shouldn't spend any time on, I'm very intrigued to see how this game goes. I mean, I just feel like there's, at least for me, general interest in the not only the development of Trevor Lawrence and the young weapons there in Jacksonville, but also to see if the Raiders can have any kind of life. Now, the fact that they have to travel to Jacksonville for the game is something to take into consideration.
Because the Raiders have been horror-awful on the road.
They have. They can't find any type of a rhythm on the road, and I'm not sure they find much of one in this game. Jacksonville plus the 2.
There you go. You got to say the actual pick.
Let's go.
See, Tank loves to do these deep fakes where he just speaks up the other team, and then Raiders. Everything I said was positive about Jacksonville Raiders -2.
Yeah, no, I think I'm Seacrest out on on the Raiders.
This was legitimately the hardest game to pick of the week. I like both running backs a lot this week. Travis Etienne will be a play that on our Sunday show you will hear come out of my mouth a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel the same way about Josh Jacobs. I don't buy into Jacksonville. I don't. And I think Trevor Lawrence has regressed to a point of I'm starting to legitimately wonder, what are you really? I feel like with the Raiders, I get the better quarterback. Yeah, I'm on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coach is a wash. I do.
Really?
I think the coach is a wash. You take away one Super Bowl, you're all right. Be honest with yourself about Doug Peterson. You take that 1 year away, he's a below 500 coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it. I'm taking the Raiders.
Jeremy's on the Raiders minus the 2 at Jacksonville. Chief, what are you thinking?
I think the Jags are tied for worst against the spread this year.
They're very bad.
That sounds right.
And I never bet the Jags. So I'm going the Raiders.
All right, he's on the Raiders.
He's been burned by that Jaguars thing.
They have done it to me too many times.
They have hurt me, and I will not allow them to do it again.
Now it's my turn to hurt them.
I think that is now. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are now my drug of choice. We always like to say we're like an AA meeting for sports here in the Sportsocracy, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars getting points at home. Some reason I just can't stop doing it.
Well, the Raiders might be mine because I've been picking them all year.
That's true.
And been horribly disappointed.
Yeah, no, I'm going Jacksonville plus the 2. Man, this is going to be a bad week for me.
I think it's time for us to have a pictervention for Mr. Spencer over here.
The Arizona Cardinals, they're at home to start the 4 o'clock slate. Only has 2 games in it this week. The Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks are the 4:05 game. It's in Arizona, and Arizona is a 1-point favorite. Jeremy, let you start this one.
What does Arizona do better than Seattle? They run the ball better?
No.
They better on defense?
No.
They have a better coach?
No.
Hurrah! Sea Chickens.
Sea Chickens plus the 1 on the road.
And yes, I know that my sea chicken sounds like a pterodactyl. It is a rubber chicken mixed with a bird of prey.
Aha. Gotcha.
That's why it has the little squeaky thing at the end.
Like a bird that swallowed a whistle or something.
That's why they're the sea chickens.
What's your eagle, though?
I don't have one of those. I mean, I do, but it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I thought they might
It's the exact same thing with a slightly different explanation.
Jeremy's afraid of birds, so he doesn't spend his time at home practicing bird sounds.
Nope.
So he's only got one. Jeremy, do a dove. Yeah, they don't do that. Doves don't do that.
They do around me. For me, they all sound like
if they do that
falcons.
around you, then you are doing something weird with the doves. And don't do
For
crimes.
me, every time I step out the door, I see it flying, and I go, #birds aren't real. And they all look like falcons and eagles and evil talons and mean flying things.
Oh, goodness. Chief, what say you?
You know, the return of Hopkins has been a difference maker for the Cards, but just what Jeremy says, that the Seahawks are just a better balanced team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking the Seahawks too.
Yeah. I want to so bad, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I want to take
Tank's looking at
Arizona.
this week going, I'm going to wake up in a bathtub filled with ice with a big cut right where my kidney used to be.
You're right, because this is how a one-game deficit at Beat the Chief turns into Tank's just chasing points the entire year.
And now Tank's taking the Jets in every game just to try to get something back.
Jets plus I don't care. Seattle Seahawks plus the 1 on the road. There's no doubt that this is the better team. Not saying they're more talented. I think Arizona has more talent than they do.
I'm not so sure that I do.
I think they do.
I don't. I'm looking at the defense going, virtually every one of those first-round pick defenders has been a disappointment to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
You have a receiver. It's DeAndre Hopkins and Rondale Moore. They made A.J. Greene available to every team in the NFL. You know how many calls they got?
None.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
There you go.
Not even the Chicago Bears would make that call.
Well, the Bears might.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the Bears might.
We're all on Seattle plus the 1 on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at home in the 425 game against the L.A. Rams. Man, at the beginning of the season, this was supposed to be like one of the great matchups of the season. This was going to be on par with like Bills and Chiefs, and now it's like.
I think I have to wash my hair.
Well, I mean, you got two teams here that are fighting for their lives. Whoever loses this game,
but neither seems to care. They just seem like both of these teams seem to just.
I don't know that they don't care. They just can't help it. Like they want to do better. You want to play good. You try to play good, but we can't play good. Like neither of these teams. And I mean, I'll pick it first. Maybe I'll take Tampa Bay at home minus the 3, but I don't feel good about it. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp's hurt, so maybe him being limited will open up a window or something. That the Tampa Bay defense they're not going to be able to do anything with him even if he's hurt. So
I pick games by
take my chances.
I pick games by a very simple criteria: who has the better quarterback?
Tampa.
Who has the better coach?
It's L.A.
And it's the Rams, and you should not have hesitated on that even a little bit. So we're split there. Who's at home?
Tampa.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I wish it was 2.5, but you get what you get.
Chief, please tell me you're taking the L.A. Rams because on games that we all agree on.
Our record is just a bloodletting.
It's awful. It's awful. It's almost across the board a loss every week. Anyway, you take whoever you want.
Circled it before I got here.
He's got the Bucks circled down on the paper. All right, Bucks minus the 3 across the board. And again, this is like the loser of this game.
They're dead in the water.
You can chalk it up. They're not going to the playoffs.
The loser in this game is completely dead in the water. It's just the way it is. And I don't see a way. I don't like either one of them. I've been very clear about that. But I don't see a way that the Rams are going to win this game. I see a way for the Bucks. You're at home. Tom rallies the troops. This is the week that the divorce is finally final. And you see the Brady of old, and that's enough to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I can physically not believe that the Rams didn't do anything at the trade deadline. That's the one team I look at and go, but for how? You do this every year. You treat draft picks like Halloween candy, just giving them out to people because they walked in the door.
But did they have any left to give away?
Apparently, they offered 2 1s to Carolina for Brian Burns.
But that was like a 23 and a 24. A 27 and a 28.
And Scott Fitterer looked at those and went, well, I mean, 2 draft picks is good, but I won't be here to make it. So don't think I will be doing that.
There's probably some truth to that.
100% there is. It'd be like saying, I'll give you a Maserati in 5 years. 5 years, I'll be 40. Heaters since I was like 14. 17 domestic lights a day. That math don't math. I think I'm going to pass.
It's going to be close.
Give me the payout.
It's going to be close.
Yeah. If you're betting the over-under on me, I'd go under, and I'd go pretty hard on it.
All right, you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the primetime games to pick. And, Jeremy, you got some bangers to throw
I do.
I think it's time for the favorites.
The favorites. Let's go. And I got some hitters this week.
Stick with us here on ESPN Asheville.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety. From your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Jeremy loves to be on the right side.
I do.
I've always been on the wrong side of health, but that's all changed with PhD weight loss program. Last Thanksgiving, we started with PhD, and since then, I've lost more than 90 pounds. None of my clothes fit anymore. I'm having to get a whole new wardrobe. You got a favorite shirt? I don't have that anymore. Like, I'm having to find all new favorites, but I'm good with it, because that means I'm going to get to live a little bit longer.
It's ironic you brought up a favorite article of clothing, because I am currently wearing a Florida State hoodie. It's been out of the rotation for quite some time, because when I wore it, I looked like a wet dog trying to come in through the cat door. But thanks to the weight loss program of PhD, I'm back down to my high school weight. I'm fitting in clothes that I don't actually know why I kept.
There is a program out there that can take two of the biggest slovenly lummoxes in the history of time and make them healthier. They can definitely do the same for you. Go to myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com.
It's pro time, because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVP's Pro Rewards Program. Terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty Terms. Subject to change. Prices valid from 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. Right now, get up to a $20 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Sylvania bulbs. Plus, get double O Rewards points with your purchase. Prepare for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's Macy's one-day sale with great deals of the day, like 30 to 50% off boots and shoes she'll love, 50 to 60% off cozy pajamas for the whole family, and 50 to 60% off holiday dining and entertaining essentials. Plus, Star Rewards members earn even faster Dream Star Money bonus days, going on now at Macy's and Market by Macy's. See Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Coffee's the closer's only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Got back to 500 last week. Couple bad weeks to start the season. Clawed my way back. And this week, this is the banger week. First, Duke's an 11-point favorite at Boston College. By the metric estimated points added, Boston College would be better off throwing the ball in the ground on first, second, third down, and then punting. This is a horrible line, and Boston College is a horrible team. Give me the Blue Devils -11. UConn's a 15.5-point favorite at home against UMass. Marcus Camby is not showing up for this game, and UConn, low-key good. Give me the Huskies -15.5. Penn State's a 13.5-point favorite at Indiana. Indiana's is 3-11. Against the spread as an underdog since the start of last year. And they don't just lose, they get housed. Penn State's angry after last week. I could see this being 42-3. Give me the Nittany Lions. Houston takes on SMU. SMU's a 3-point favorite. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Go to Twitter, look at SMU's hype video for their uniforms this week. It's a blackout, and they used Bane from The Dark Knight. You don't do that to go out and lose. SMU -3. The North Carolina Tar Heels are a 7-point favorite at Virginia. The Hoos are 1-6-1 against the over this year. And do you know why? Because they couldn't score double digits on a Girl Scout troop. Drake May and the Tar Heels by 1 million. And finally, I did not think this game was going to be in this segment at the beginning of the year. My Florida State Seminoles are a 7.5-point favorite at Miami. We've had this game circled for a minute, and Miami can't play dead in the Western. 52-7. Give me the Seminoles.
That's your prediction
that
for
is
the
my
final
prediction.
Score?
They are going to house Miami, and I'm here for every second of it.
Take those wagers over to BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy when you create your account and put in money. Using the promo code Sportsocracy, they will give you a 125% deposit bonus, which means you put in $1, they give you $1.25 for every dollar that you put in.
Yeah, that Florida State-Miami game. Is Miami good on offense?
No.
No, Florida State is. Is Miami good on defense?
No.
No, that's funny. Florida State is. Is Miami good on special teams?
No.
No, yeah, Florida State is. Seminoles by 1,000. Let's go.
All right, continuing to play Beat the Chief here on ESPN Asheville on this Football Friday. Beat the Chief brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Asheville Police Chief David Zack, I'm going to let you break the ice on the first primetime game of the week.
It's a trap.
Sunday Night Football.
It's a trap.
Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 13-point favorite.
It's a trap.
13 points, a lot of points in the NFL.
That is a lot
right?
of points.
Are the Titans a really bad football team?
Nope.
They're not a really bad football team.
No, they're not.
Did they get their asses handed to them in Buffalo? Yes, they did.
That they did.
Yeah.
But that felt like maybe you had that one coming. Like maybe you got a little too excited when you did this last year.
Right.
Maybe you had that one coming.
Yeah, do I see that happening to them again? And sometimes it seems like Chiefs play down a level. Sometimes they level their competition.
Mm-hmm.
Titans are not a bad football team. They're a good football team getting 13 points. I'm taking the Titans.
I'm with you, Chief. I looked at this and went, I mean, I know we love Kansas City, and they have the ability to score a lot of points. I don't know how Kansas City is going to stop Derrick Henry.
It's a clean sweep across the board. The over-under is 46. The under has 85% of the money. So you're telling me that you think this will be a low-scoring game and I'm catching almost 2 full touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
This was not all that difficult. Tennessee.
Tennessee plus the 13. Seems like the smart bet. We all picked it, though, so that means Kansas City by 28.
Yep, so Kansas City will win 52-2. Right.
Monday Night Football this week. The Baltimore Ravens on the road in New Orleans to take on the Saints. And the Baltimore Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite against those Saints.
I'll take this one first. Yep. This is, if you're in a fantasy league and you're saying, I need points and I need to score this week, Isaiah Likely. I don't care if Mark Andrews plays or not. I get that the smart money's on New Orleans. It's close. I don't think this is actually that close of a game. I'm going Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will be on the Ravens as well. Don't believe in the New Orleans Saints, not even a little bit. I mean, I know Alvin Kamara got going last week, but
now you have Roquan Smith.
I'm very, very interested to see Roquan Smith in that fire Baltimore Ravens uniform.
Before the Roquan Smith deal, I would have been more open to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kills the best opportunity you had to score.
I think it does as well. Chief, what say you?
I'm with you guys. I thought the line was going to be much higher. Ravens.
All right, we're all on the Ravens minus 2.5 on Monday Night Football. This has been Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Asheville Police Chief David Zack, always a pleasure, sir.
Good seeing you guys.
Sports Center is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a few showers for the weekend ahead and very mild temperatures. A taste of spring in the air for this November weekend. Our low tonight, 57 degrees, 68 on Saturday with a shower or two. Chance for a light shower Sunday, 72 degrees. And mid-70s Monday, and not far from records at the airport Monday afternoon. It takes us till Wednesday, Thursday next week to get back into the 60s for high temps. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. This fall, there are updated COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. If it's been at least 2 months since your primary series or booster, schedule your updated COVID-19 booster dose at vaccines.gov.
Low rates and cash back? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Introducing Mountain Credit Union Rewards. Earning cash back is simple. Earn 1% cash back when you use your Mountain Credit Union MasterCard credit card. Just sign into our mobile app, receive e-statements, and use your Mountain Credit Union MasterCard. Don't have a card? Apply today for a fixed interest rate, no annual fee, and generous credit limits. Go to mountaincu.org to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Chris Cuomo is back with a new show on a new network. Catch Cuomo weeknights on News Nation at 8 p.m. Eastern. To find News Nation on your television provider, go to newsnationnow.com/join us.
The Sportsocracy.
This is G. Degaroff, voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN has learned Nets owner Joe Tsai decided to suspend Kyrie Irving after he failed to apologize for promoting anti-Semitic content during a Thursday news conference. Irving later did apologize on Instagram after he was suspended. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
I think for Kyrie Irving and the Nets, I think their future together is very uncertain. This is a 2-6 team that's headed out on a road trip without Ben Simmons initially, no Kyrie Irving. Who knows what their record might be and where they are as an organization.
Woj on Get Up. The Nets play 10 of their next 12 on the road starting tonight in Washington. Irving did not return any of Tsai's text messages asking to discuss the situation before he was suspended. Yankees GM Brian Cashman, who's currently working without a contract, won't say whether he's been in contact with Aaron Judge about a new deal. Judge will be a free agent after the World Series. He hit .311 this year with 62 home runs and 131 runs batted in.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome back into a Football Friday here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy, brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets and, of course, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. It's always fun having the Chief in here picking games. We will have Keenan Nesbitt of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office joining us in the next hour to pick some college games as well. It's a huge weekend of football, and it all got underway last night with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. More on that in just a second. Don't forget, you can get us everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can also see us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link so you can join us in the chat, and you can put your picks in as well, as the polls have been rolling on the chat.
And they will throughout the show. Everyone gets about 15 minutes. We got 11 games, 3-hour show. You can make that math.
Absolutely, and we'll keep you updated on how everything goes. We'll do just a new little wrinkle to the Beat the Chief contest here, as we are, doing that thing we like to do, especially when it comes around election season. We're giving you a voice in the chat, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can also join the House of Reprehensibles and show your support for the Sportsocracy. Last night, the Eagles and the Texans. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, for a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
But was it, though? I mean, it was on the scoreboard, but did you ever actually honestly think that?
Oh, God, no. There was no thought in my mind, or no doubt in my mind, that the Eagles would eventually pull away. Now, if you had Houston plus the 13. If you had Houston plus the 13, it was a good night for you.
Philadelphia does some very confusing things. Kenny Gainwell gets way too much run on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And just, hello. It's one of my favorite things to say, and I thought it a lot last night watching this team. Run the damn ball! The entire game, you're averaging 5 yards at a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Just run. It's really not that difficult. Miles Sanders was killing Houston.
Mm-hmm.
This won't give him the toad. And the other thing I learned last night that I feel like I already knew, and I think I've been saying this since, I don't know, July. Dameon Pierce is a D-O-double-G dog.
Absolutely.
I will give you $1 if you can tell me who the leading receiver for the Houston Texans was last night, without looking.
I can't tell you. I can't remember his name, but I saw him get several catches last night, and I went, I'm not really sure I know who that is.
If you should know he was because he's a first-round pick. It's Philip Dorsett.
No, that's not the name I was thinking of.
Chris Moore was
Chris
the second
Moore
one.
was the one I was thinking of.
Nobody else had more than a catch.
Yeah, I could have swore it would have been Chris Moore, but it was Philip Dorsett.
3 catches, 69 yards. Congratulations. Davis Mills, 154 yards. I look at Houston, and nobody will ever admit this out loud. That team wants to lose. That's their goal. I watch Houston, and I've watched more Houston Texan football than I care to because I have Dameon Pierce in every league that I'm in. Lovie Smith calls games like the scoreboard doesn't exist. It's like watching those kids' games where they don't keep score. Why are you running in the fourth quarter down 2 touchdowns?
Oh, we're just trying
like
to
a lot.
We're just trying to get a rhythm going as a team. We got a lot of young guys on this team, and we need to get them some meaningful reps.
That's a weird way to say Dameon Pierce. They have a young guy. Rex Burkhead was looking around for much of last night going, why am I still here? It's very obvious that you don't like it. I have worn out my welcome here.
He's making $3.5 million. I think it's.
I think he's fine 2 more
with
touches last night than I did.
He's completely fine with it. It's one more year of $1 million contract.
Philadelphia, though, from a wagering standpoint, that's going to be a team to take advantage of lines. They're not going to blow people out very often. I mean, playing the way they play, you're just not going to see a ton of what they did to Pittsburgh, where A.J. Brown has 3 touchdowns, and it's – do you realize he has a touchdown in 7 of his last 8 games?
That's awesome.
He's good at the footballs.
He is. He's very good at the footballs. And his quarterback's very good at the footballs. The game plan that they have put forth works for Jalen. He can be super accurate and just terribly efficient with all of his touches, whether it be throwing the ball or whether it be running the ball. I have completely come around on Jalen Hurts as this works.
It does, but I'm not sure that it doesn't have a ceiling. I watched every snap of last night.
What do you mean?
And I could not stop thinking, do you really think you're going to do this against a Buffalo or against a Kansas City? Really? You really think this is – I mean, look, you're going to win the NFC because the NFC is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't tell you you're going to be in the Super Bowl. You will be the 1 seed in the NFC. You're 8-0. I don't see more than 1 or 2 losses on the schedule, and I really have to reach for them. But I feel like this team has a ceiling. It doesn't look the same. I watch them play, and this doesn't – yes, you're physically imposing and you're impressive. You don't look like the best team in the NFL. Buffalo does. Kansas City does.
Mm-hmm.
That's really end of message. Repeat the line.
I think I think a lot of that comes back to you always rag on me for using the term style points, but I think that's Philly doesn't have those.
No,
Philly's
because they can't.
And I don't know that they can't. It's just we're not going to force it. We're going to give what the defense, or we're going to take what the defense gives us.
And that's really easy to do when you're ahead, which this team has been a lot. Here's what I'm curious to see.
But I think the defense is so good that it will allow them not to get too far behind where they have to chase points and just
I don't think you have to be
abandon
that far behind. I'm afraid of what happens when you get behind, period. And now this doesn't work. This run, pass offense doesn't work anymore. I'm legitimately worried about that. You couldn't put away the Houston Texans. It was never in doubt.
Right.
This is one of those. I'll use the same line I just said about Lovie Smith. If you had dropped that score overlay off the bottom of the television broadcast, you'd have thought Philadelphia was up by 3 touchdowns. They weren't. They looked very physically impressive, but it didn't translate to points. And look, they're still my 3rd best team in the NFL. I do feel like I'm going to drop them a spot this week. I've had them at 2 forever. I do think they're coming down a spot. I'm not sure they could beat a Buffalo or a Kansas City. If you played those games 10 times, I think they lose them 9.
Possibly.
Look, I mean, in the Jalen Hurts thing, it's working. I still have some of the same reservations that I had before. He's not a great thrower of the football.
No.
His throwing motion is really elongated. And you got a good line that protects you from some of that. I'm just not sure what happens when you come up against these elite teams.
And how many times did he go down last night?
4.
I was going to say, because I didn't get to hang for the entire game because I have to be in the bed at a decent hour. And
because you're 8,000 years old.
I am. But I mean, I felt like the pressure was there from the Houston Texans defense. They've been scrappier than people give them credit for on the defensive side of the ball. The offense, minus, if God forbid anything happened to Dameon Pierce, they would be absolutely listless and terrible.
That would have been an expansion team. That's an expansion roster. It looks exactly like their roster when they were in their first year. You have a high-end left tackle. Everything else is just bit pieces that are barely clinging on to their spot in the league.
But the defense was, like I said, they were scrappy last night. They were getting some pressure on Jalen, and I just feel like the Philadelphia Eagles go into every game with a plan of, we don't have to force it. We don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. Okay, so the game's 14-14 at halftime. Don't care. We know we're better. We know we're stronger. We know we can hold up on both sides of the ball better than this team. All we got to do is just stick to what we do.
I mean, I'm not trying to jump ship or anything like that. It was unsettling. It was unsettling to watch a lot of it last night, just going, what happens if they hit by some miracle, hit a big play and you're behind? Yeah, I mean, you go in tied at the half. What had happened if the interception doesn't happen? Now what? I feel like Philadelphia can beat you one way. And now they are elite at that one way. I still have the same reservations about Jalen Hurts that I always had. He has improved, and he is an NFL quarterback. I do not think he is a big money, build your franchise around this guy. I mean, look how good this roster is. A.J. Brown's one of the 5 best receivers in the league. I've said that for 3 years. Dallas Goedert, he's one of the 5 or 6 best tight ends in the league. Offensive line, top 5 in the league. I don't think Miles Sanders is to that level, but he's very talented. The defense has a playmaker at every level. You pay him that big boy money, that won't be there. So, I mean, Philadelphia, this is your window. I think they have a 2-year window. The minute that his salary goes up, this team will start to erode.
And
this way works.
I get the concerns that everybody has about this Philadelphia Eagles team. Who have they beaten? What have you seen that makes you believe that they're capable of going undefeated, Tank? I heard that several times. after the show.
Well, I mean, 6 of their 8 wins have been against teams that were in the bottom 10 of our power rankings.
Exactly. And the reason I think that they have the ability or the possibility that they might be able to make the 72 Dolphins sweat is because they don't have one of those games coming up against a team that is that good, that is a world beater. Like, there's not a Buffalo Bills. There's not a Kansas City Chiefs on that schedule. There's not a Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm going to call my shot a week early. You mark my words, Washington will make them sweat more than you want them to. They will make them sweat more than you want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as time goes on, you will start to see this is a very good team. But there's a cap.
Yeah.
There's a limit to how good this can be.
Do you have to be offensively an offensive juggernaut? Do you have to be blowing people out?
I don't care about
this league.
You worry too much about the points on the board. That's not my point. My point is if you get by, all right, not Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, you get behind something for whatever reason. You throw a poorly timed interception, whatever the case may be. You're down 14 points. Philadelphia ain't coming back from that. There's not. The way this team is constructed, if I can drop back and I know exactly what's happening, you're not going to come back on me. Buffalo and Kansas City can do it in 5 minutes. Cincinnati can do it in 5 minutes if they can keep Joe Burrow upright.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slew of other teams that can do that. Philadelphia can't. They can beat you one way. And so far they've gotten, I don't want to say lucky. They're very lucky in that they played a very bad schedule. It's also a schedule that if you look at it, none of them really put up a ton of points. What happens when you play a prodigious offense? There's not many of those in the NFC, but Minnesota's one of them. I think Minnesota's closer to Philadelphia than we want to let on.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
We're seeing more stop than go on 26 westbound between 146 and 191. 40 eastbound is backed up between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 40 westbound is also seeing some delays between 2740 and NC 2838. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Temperatures getting low, but demand remaining high? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a beggin' Christmas. We wish you a beggin' Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let beggin' you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of beggin'. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
It's pro time because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVPs Pro Rewards Program terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change. Prices valid from 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And we're back in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville and seen everywhere on YouTube. And the question was asked in the YouTube comments, or actually the statement from Alex Majabi was, I don't get why everybody is sleeping on the Vikings. He says that team is gross.
It's a very good team. At the end of the day, it's still the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins has been horrendous in primetime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went out on the limb. They're my upset special of the week. Coming off a, I want to say good win, but against Arizona. They allow teams to stay way closer than they should. Yes, Justin Jefferson is prodigious, and I think T.J. Hawkinson will help.
Mm-hmm.
There's just it's the eyeball test. And I really hate to cop out on the question like this. They don't look like an elite team. As you watch them, every game they play is close.
Yep.
The entire season, they got blown out by the Eagles. They blew out the Packers. Every other game they played has been a 1 score or less.
And it's not been that difficult of a schedule.
No.
That's
played the Lions, who are the worst team in the league, the Saints, who can't score, the Bears, who are the second worst team in the league, the Dolphins with a backup quarterback, in the Arizona Cardinals.
When we did the power rankings 2 weeks ago, I told you there's something about this team that I just can't buy in and say this is a top 3, top 4 team in the NFL. Now their schedule, or their record obviously tells you that right now they are. But can they do it when it matters is the question. And
well, I mean, it starts this week.
And everybody has their doubts about Kirk Cousins.
It starts this week. You're at a Commanders team that's playing better, whether Tank wants to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Then you go at the Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Jets. Those last 3 are at home.
Mm-hmm.
If you come out of this 5-game stretch, I would say 3-2, you're for real. Because that's a lot. Stylistically, that's a lot of different looks.
It is. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go in that. They will go from being 6-1 and just barely squeak into the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying don't jump all in and be like, yeah, we really know this team's good. Because would it shock you? Would it really shock you if they ended up going 0-4 over those next 4 games? It wouldn't me. They could find a way to lose on the road at the Commanders, especially if the Commanders come up with a win this week, like Jeremy thinks they may.
They're my upset special this week.
Mm-hmm.
The money is heavily on them. Not sure I totally understand why, but I mean, I like that team better than you do. The thing about Minnesota is that you look around the NFC, it is really hard to figure out who do you actually buy in the NFC. The 3 teams that we legitimately thought we could count on, they all 3 need a win this week. Any of the 3 of them lose, and 2 of them are going to because they're playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're not irrelevant, but you're close.
Yep.
You would practically have to run the table. Have 1 blip left for half the season just to get in, let alone do anything when you get there.
Mm-hmm. Who's got to have it? That's a question I've been having all week long, looking ahead to this week. Who's got to win this week? Obviously, That 4 o'clock or 4:25 game down in Tampa, that's a must-win for both of these teams, Tampa and L.A. You lose this one, you're not coming back. L.A. drops to 3-5. The Bucs, especially, fall to 3-6. You could just cash it in the rest of the season. Tampa's going to be without some more starters this week, but they did announce earlier today that Carlton Davis will be back. Sean Murphy-Bunting will be back, so that'll help out that secondary. You're still going to be without Antoine Winfield Jr., so that hurts. Cameron Brate's out. Luke Gadecki's still out. So those are problems. But L.A. ain't much better.
No, L.A.'s in trouble. That's the team, and I said this while we were playing Beat the Chief.
Mm-hmm.
That's the team that didn't do anything at the trade deadline that makes absolutely no sense to me. I know everybody freaked out about Green Bay. I still maintain I don't actually know what you were supposed to do there. One receiver's not fixing this problem.
Right.
At this point, you're going to have to step, and I heard Aaron Rodgers say this, you're going to have to step up with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but if you look, I always defer to the Vegas poll. Top 10, do you know how many NFC teams are in the top 10 of the Vegas poll?
2.
3. Philadelphia, Minnesota, San Francisco. That's it. So there will be teams that get in that we don't believe in. Like the AFC, the bottom of the AFC is worse than we thought. At least it's worse than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to legitimately take 10 wins to get in. I'm not as sold on that anymore. Because there's only about 9 teams that I think could make it. In the NFC, there's probably 12.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I think they're playoff teams, but because 7 teams physically have to make it.
Right.
The NFL's not going to look at this and go, well, we only have 5. So 5 get in and the rest of you go home.
2 UAFC teams, y'all can come over here and play with the NFC guys.
Can we do that?
I wish we could.
As a fan of a team that I feel is going to be on the wrong side of that ledger, most likely, I will totally sign up for that.
Absolutely. Let's take out the losing record division winners as well.
Gage Camplin asked an interesting question in the YouTube chat. What's the spread Bills Eagles neutral field? He threw out Bills by 4, and that's exactly what it would be.
Really?
Looking at the Vegas poll, it would be Bills by 4. The Bills would be a 2-point favorite on a neutral field against every team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And would be over a full touchdown favorite against all but 3.
I was going to say, the way their lines have been going lately, they're only getting bigger and bigger.
Wow. I actually didn't know that. They would be a full touchdown favorite on a neutral field against every team in the NFL except the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. That's the thing they did.
Please. I just want them to play so you can throw that out there and I can double my net worth.
Jeremy continues not to believe in the Dallas Cowboys.
Bills at Dallas Cowboys would be a 4-point lean. Can we just add that to the schedule for my sheer enjoyment?
Because that's one you would take Bills minus 12.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be 12. It'd be 4. And I would take it at 12, but I wouldn't have to.
That's what I'm saying. You would take it if it was at 12.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
It's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun week in the NFL. And, I mean, there are other games that I'll look at and go, these are must-wins, but I feel pretty confident that you're gonna winnable them.
Well, there are a few teams that we haven't talked about. I mean, I feel like the LA Chargers need a win this week badly.
That was one of them.
This is a game that sets up of everything is going against you.
Right.
Your entire receiving core is Elemento dead.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have Josh Palmer, and that may be it.
Donald Parham.
Well, he's not a receiver. He's tight end. They have tight ends. Tight end's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's wide receiver. If you look at their the 53-man roster, they have one receiver without an injury designation. So all of these things set up for you to lose. And if you can find a way, it's going to say a lot. Oh, Josh Palmer has an injury designation that I didn't see. Oh. He's questionable too.
Oh, dear.
But it's a questionable likely to play.
Mm-hmm. The Chargers are killed by injuries, and like I said in Beat the Chief, I mean, I still don't know what to think of Brandon Staley. Still have hopes. I think he's a good coach. Still think he takes too many chances. But we'll see. We'll see if he can get the troops rallied to go on the road and play Atlanta in the Dome, because that's not an easy place to be.
No, but this is still, if you are what we think you are,
you better win.
This is a game you have to win.
Mm-hmm.
You have no excuse really to lose this game. I get the injuries would be the excuse. None of that matters when we get down to the end of the season.
Yeah, then there's not a committee that's going to take that into account.
Nope.
You got to put the wins on the board. And so if granted, your season can't be over if you drop to 500. But it's still not going to look good, and things are going to continue to get louder for this team. Things start to snowball when you lose like this. Lost last week to Seattle. If somehow you go on the road and lose to the Atlanta Falcons, I can see that snowball growing pretty big really quickly. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
North Carolina is famous for many things, but I think chief among them is its barbecue. And out in Raleigh, I'm sure you've probably heard of Clyde Cooper's barbecue. I've been told it's one of the best in the state. I've never been myself, but that's what I hear. Clyde Cooper's barbecue had a disgruntled customer, though, this past week, when Annie Cook said she had had barbecue at other restaurants before, but never had she ever been served barbecue that was pink. And my reaction to that is...
And you haven't eaten a lot of barbecue.
I don't think you've eaten a lot of barbecue. I really don't believe that. Or at least not good smoked barbecue.
Yeah, you might have had well-done crap that you get at a gas station, but...
Right. Or that you get on the buffet somewhere. Or, I don't know.
Oh, if you're getting barbecue off a buffet.
Right.
That's not at a barbecue place.
She goes to Clyde Cooper's barbecue. She gets her barbecue plate. She opens it up and she sees that the meat is pink. And so she thinks, well, that just means this is not cooked all the way through. This is still too raw to eat. So she takes it back to Clyde Cooper's barbecue and they basically looked at her and said, that's how it works. When you smoke the barbecue, it's going to turn pink. What do you want us to do about it? She said, well, I want my money back because I'm not eating that. And they said, well, we're not going to do that. That's perfectly good barbecue.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
She said, well, then you need to change out my order. And they went, I don't know that that's necessary. And after a little hem and haw, they were like, fine, we'll give you some chicken. How about that? We'll give you some chicken.
Whatever will get you to shut up and go away.
Exactly. Well, she wasn't pleased because they handed her a bag with just some chicken in it. Well, she wanted a whole brand new plate. And they were like, well, you keep the plate. You got all the fixings and stuff. Here's the chicken. You can have the chicken. She wasn't having that either. So she did the only thing that she felt she could do. She called 911.
Oh, good Lord.
She called 911 and called the cops and said, they're trying to take advantage of me down here at Clyde Cooper's barbecue. The funny part about it is Debbie Holt, the owner of Clyde Cooper's barbecue.
Any relation to Patrick Holt?
Not sure there's any relation to Patrick Holt, who also a barbecue
fine
guy.
barbecueman.
Right, Holt Brothers Barbecue. And member of the House of Reprehensibles, if you don't know who we're talking about. Anyway, she... And my computer crashed. Anyway...
Of course it did.
Of course it did, because that's what it does. Anyway, she calls the cops. The cop shows up, and the owner of the barbecue restaurant says the cop walks in and immediately just crosses his arms and has this smirk on his face, and looks at her and goes, I got you. Don't worry. She said he rolled his eyes when the woman was making her complaint, and they were finally able to get her gone from the restaurant. He was like, here's my thing. Do not do this. 911 is for emergencies only. You getting what you think might be undercooked pork, even if you're, if you think that's the health hazard of the century, do not call 911 for that. That is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard.
So we have an update to this story.
Okay.
Patrick Holt actually is related to this woman.
Nice!
Spoke to her the other day about this woman, said she's going to hire a lawyer and sue.
Absolutely.
Please let her do that. Just solely. So, first of all, because the lawyer will look at you, because lawyers, there are many that, yep, you can assume where I'm headed there.
Yeah, she has.
They'll look at her and go, you absolutely have a case at $157 an hour.
She has threatened a lawsuit, no doubt, against Clyde Cooper's Barbecue, and went on Google and left a nasty Google review how this is like the worst service on the planet. That's how barbecue works, hon. Sorry.
This is just the America we live in. I feel like 7 days from now it may not be the same. Second wave. I've been waiting to do that for a week. I've been waiting to do that for a week. Ulster County in New York learned a very valuable lesson that we here on this program learned a long time ago. Be very careful of the promotions that you put out for fan vote. They came up with this idea. The I voted stickers were not, they didn't really feel like that was palatable enough, so they did an online contest where they asked people to design new I voted stickers, and the winner would be the one they used for this election cycle. So a lot of people did. And one of them was a teenager that I don't really know how to describe this thing. It kind of looks like the angry squid from Squidbillies, the one that has the trucker hat.
Oh, yeah.
And the country accent. It kind of looks like that, but it's 48 different shades, and so it's like a little spider, and it says I voted in what looks like spray paint. It also has a terrifying face that will haunt my nightmares, which is why I'm not putting it up at the stream. So they put it out there, they voted, and that won. And now they are actually having to hand this out to people, and just a slew, predominantly senior citizens, have called the county to complain about their I voted sticker and how it is mortifying them. As well it should. It is a terrifying thing. This leads me to why do we need an I voted sticker? Are we children? Are we 4 years old riding with mommy to the bank? Do we need a sticker that says, oh, look, I voted. I can put it on social media and go, look, I did my civic duty.
No, you have to show everybody.
Or just go do it, okay? You didn't cure cancer. You went in a booth and you hit a button.
They always offer me a sticker when I go vote, and I go, I don't need the sticker.
No, I don't need a sticker.
Don't you want to show everybody what you did today? No, because it's election day, and frankly, I feel like not as many people should vote. Educate yourself on the topics. If you're not, just don't even bother.
In my
Stay
America,
home.
there will be a test on the candidates, and if you cannot answer just the vaguest of questions about who the candidates are, we'll let you vote, and we're going to run that ballot through a paper shredder about 3 seconds after you walk out that door.
Right. We'll even make it a true or false. Easy stuff.
Yes.
Like true or false, Herschel Walker was a basketball player. We could
True or false, this candidate is 7 feet tall. I feel like that's a thing you should know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need
I
voted stickers, and you especially don't need I voted stickers that were drawn by some demented teenager, because this came from a mind like, this was like young Tim Burton or something.
Yeah, this kid's, we should check on him. I wish we had done this here. I really do. Because I would have designed a sticker, and it would have just said, I voted. And my entire personality is dedicated to my social media likes. And that's what it would have said.
Oh, nice.
So you would have had to have shown that. Like, I voted. And my entire personality is devoted to my social media likes.
I feel like that'd have to be a pretty big sticker.
It's fine. They make big stickers. I've seen it.
Here's your vote. Here's your I voted sticker. It goes all across your chest.
You can actually put it on the hood of your car and look like you're sponsored by I voted.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And while we got this moment, I want to tell you about one of the greatest things that happened to me this year. You've heard about it. In the past year, I've lost more than 90 pounds with the PhD weight loss program. PhD has helped me learn healthy nutrition. They've helped me learn a better way to live, how to get more sleep, how to get more active, and obviously how to put only the good things into my body. At PhD, I never thought there would be a program out there that could give me the kind of results that I have seen with Dr. Ashley Lucas in this program.
I did not have a ton of weight to lose. I had just gotten very lazy in my food choices, and I got a little, we'll say, chunky. Fast food was easier. That's what I did. In just under a year on PhD, I have gone from one of the highest weights I've ever seen back to my high school weight, and I've slid all the way into a brand new wardrobe thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
And if you're like me and you struggle sometimes to find motivation, that's why they have a group of dedicated health coaches that will not only help you out with the problems that you're having, but they will help keep you motivated throughout the process. MyPhDWeightLoss.com is the website. It's MyPhDWeightLoss.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a few showers for the weekend ahead and very mild temperatures. A taste of spring in the air for this November weekend. Our low tonight, 57 degrees, 68 on Saturday with a shower or two. Chance for a light shower Sunday, 72 degrees. And mid-70s Monday, and not far from records at the airport Monday afternoon. It takes us till Wednesday, Thursday next week to get back into the 60s for high temps. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Expect more stop than go on 26 westbound between US 25 and NC 191. 40 eastbound is seeing some delays between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between 191 and 146, and expect some congestion on 40 westbound between NC 2740 and NC 2838. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is your one-stop destination for shipping supplies and services. And right now, get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item. Offer ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis to give you a greater understanding. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms. Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs?
Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It is a football Friday, and last night, Thursday night football, we got to see Robert Quinn make his debut. In the transactions for the trade deadline, Jeremy, who are you? Is there a player that you're most excited to see make their debut for their new team this week?
Roquan Smith, not close.
Not close.
I mean, T.J. Hawkinson would be 2.
I think TJ's mine. I mean, I obviously, as a Georgia guy, I love Roquan Smith, and I love to see him added to my preseason Super Bowl pick. But I think TJ Hawkinson's going to bring another level to that offense. Just something that, I mean, honestly, Kirk Cousins has never had. Kyle Rudolph, he was fine for one season. Irv Smith never developed into anything. We've never seen Kirk Cousins with an elite tight end, which is what I believe TJ Hawkinson is.
I can't say he's elite, but he's very high in that. He's very Dallas go deer E. He's not Kyle Pitts. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not Mark Andrews, but he's the best of that next tier.
Right.
I mean, I certainly think that will help that Minnesota offense. When it happened, I said, this gives you another red zone target. Because that offense gets super predictable inside the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think you have added a weapon that will not fix it all, but it will certainly help. My answer to that's Roquan Smith, solely because I've said this, and oddly enough, I say it in the mock draft that will debut tomorrow with a different team of, I think Roquan Smith next to Patrick Queen, they actually wind up with 2 players. Because Roquan allows Patrick Queen to do what it is that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Roquan's an all-around player. To me, he's one of the best off-ball linebackers in the league. It's Fred Warner. He's well, Micah Parsons if he's playing up, but he's playing on the edge so much more now that I can't really count him. Roquan is 2 or 3 in the league at that position, and he can just do everything. So that fixes 2 of your problems at one time. That's why I love that deal so much.
Mm-hmm. And I still obviously, believe that the Bradley Chubb addition to Miami is going to have a major impact on their defense. It will definitely help out a struggling pass rush. Finally get home and have some sacks. What did sports freak Brian Hall told us the other day? With 5.5 sacks, Bradley Chubb already has more than the entire defensive line for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, that's another one that could be an addition of you wind up with the best of another player. Because Jalen Phillips with him on the other end, that is a tantalizing addition.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say Chase Claypool here because, frankly, it doesn't matter who Justin Fields bounces passes to.
No.
And I'm going to say this probably 100 times over the course of the next 2 years. You traded Roquan Smith basically straight up for Chase Claypool. Tell me why you're the Bears without telling me why you're the Bears.
It's so gross. It's absolutely gross. It still kills me that Patrick Holt is related to. Are y'all? That's just a barbecue family, apparently.
That's what all of you do.
That's right. It's in our blood. Barbecue is in our blood.
Drinking is in the blood of my family. It's what we all do. Domestic lights.
It explains so much. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Jeremy's going to have more bangers for the week.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Expect more stop than go on 26 westbound between US 25 and NC 191. 40 eastbound is seeing some delays between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between 191 and 146, and expect some congestion on 40 westbound between NC 2740 and NC 2838. I'm Elena Vegso with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is your one-stop destination for shipping supplies and services. And right now, get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item. Offer ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping.
Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance, with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com and see if you qualify for $10 insurance. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? You know joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 with locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, that's 828-333-9517.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's a Friday. It's the last segment of an hour, and that means more bangers. First off, Kentucky is only a 1-point favorite at Missouri. I don't know if somebody at Kentucky did something to a line maker or if the line makers are doing that thing that the people at Oreo do where they go, look, I set the serving sign, 2 cookies. That's the only 2 things that make any sense. Kentucky should beat this number easily. Give me the Wildcats, but that's not what you're here for.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
It's all about the dogs. Iowa's a 3.5-point dog at Purdue. This might be first team to 10 wins, and I'm catching 3 in the hook. Give me the Hawkeyes. Baylor is a 3.5-point dog at Oklahoma. I don't know what I have to do to make people understand how bad Oklahoma is, but I think Baylor will do a just fine job of it. Give me the Bears plus the 3.5. Texas Tech, an 8.5-point favorite at TCU. Look, I like TCU. I really like TCU. 8 in the hook is a lot, even though you're at home coming off an emotional week on the road against West Virginia. This has a letdown feel to me. I've been off Texas Tech. It's burned me. I'm on them. I hope it doesn't burn me being on the other side. Red Raiders plus 8.5. James Madison, the former Fighting Mike Houstons, are a 7-point dog at Louisville. I think they went outright. They're a better team. I don't care where this game is. They're the better of these two teams, and I'm not sure it's all that close. This is an overreaction to what Louisville did last week. 7 turnovers and 8 drives. End of message. Repeat the line. Give me James Madison. Florida's a 3-point dog at Texas A&M. I'm not sure Texas A&M can beat a team in the SEC. I don't care if you're at home. I don't care if you're on the road. And I certainly don't like you catching points. Give me the Gators. But there's one school you know. They have to be in the Bengals.
Country roads,
Take me home to the place I belong. My West Virginia Mountaineers are a 7-point dog at Iowa State. I had them last week. I got burned by the most ungodly, bad beat backdoor cover you've ever seen. I feel like they owe me one. They're better than Iowa State. Can't tell you they win, but they will cover. My Mountaineers plus the 7.
They owe you one. I like that.
The world owes me one with a West Virginia on it because I got unceremoniously housed by stupid TCU last week. Just lay down. The game's over. You don't need to score that last. What is it? What's that stupid phrase you always use?
What?
Show points or
style points?
Style points. You don't need any style points. Just get down.
TCU's one, though, that does need the style points. Especially if they want to make a case for the college football playoff. Anyway.
That really worked. They weren't even on the graphic. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. You can take all those wagers over to badhouse.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into the account, up to $2,500. Jonathan Taylor. So disappointing. He's out again this week with an injury, and now I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be a thing with him from now on.
That feels like a gross overreaction to me. You've had a nagging injury this season on a team that's not very good. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm a running back, I'm not rushing back. Not on this team.
Oh, absolutely.
We're a dumpster
We're not
fire
for anything.
We're a dumpster fire. I'm not rushing back from this.
Right.
Go get me a quarterback. We'll talk.
This year has been so much of a disappointment for the Indianapolis Colts as a whole. Jonathan Taylor is a big part of that. That offensive line, though, I don't know that I would come back either.
Certainly not for the Patriots. I think it's the Raiders next week. That's a little more palatable.
A little more palatable. Yeah, okay. Injuries around the league this week. Obviously, it's I don't think Keenan Allen's ever going to play again.
I'm just waiting for him to shut him down for the year like they did Michael Thomas.
Right, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas stubbed his toe, and he will miss a full season for that. Brian Robinson was shot and missed 4 games.
Right. The Bengals are going to be without Chidobe Awuzie and Mike Hilton this week. So as
Awuzie's done for the year.
Right. But Hilton's done for this week. So no corners. So that's going to make you feel good, right? Carolina Panthers fans, come on, PJ
It'll make
Walker.
you feel a lot better when they lose to a team with no corners. I guess you're gonna.
100%.
Oh, God. I don't do this very often. I don't ask for much. I cannot take another week of we're going to win this division. I can't. Do not give the fictitious P.J. Walker hope. Look, for you, I want it. I want to be wrong. But I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not.
Just keep saying it over and over and over again.
I will say this. In my 2-round mock draft that will come out tomorrow, Carolina has my favorite class, and it's not even close.
Oh.
And I didn't even realize it. I got to the end today doing the post-production for it and went, wow, that would be the best-case scenario humanly possible. You wind up with 3 weapons, let me put it that way. And yes, one of them is a quarterback.
You want to hear what the picks are going to be, what Jeremy thinks they should be? You obviously need to go over to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get the alert when it comes out tomorrow, the mid-season 2023 NFL mock draft. 2 rounds. 2 by Flo Stradamus. Sports Center's coming up next. Then we'll talk some college football.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a few showers for the weekend ahead and very mild temperatures. A taste of spring in the air for this November weekend. Our low tonight, 57 degrees, 68 on Saturday with a shower or two. Chance for a light shower Sunday, 72 degrees. And mid-70s Monday, and not far from records at the airport Monday afternoon. It takes us till Wednesday, Thursday next week to get back into the 60s for high temps. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Expect more stop than go on 26 westbound between US 25 and NC 191. 40 eastbound is seeing some delays between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between 191 and 146, and expect some congestion on 40 westbound between NC 2740 and NC 2838. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Our $1,000 inflation bonus will give you something to really be thankful for.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you.
Keep listening to win $1,000 every hour, weekdays 9A to 5P.
Thank you so much.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Nets GM Sean Marks says Kyrie Irving will need to take more steps before he comes back to the team, including counseling and meeting with Jewish leaders. ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
They are trying like crazy to hold this dam from bursting. Kevin Durant demanding trades. Kyrie Irving, all these situations. Ben Simmons is hurt. Steve Nash is fired, and they're going and trying to pull a coach that's on suspension with another team.
Brian Windhorst on Greene. Irving apologized on Instagram for promoting anti-Semitic content in social media. He's been suspended for at least 5 games without pay. We've got an NBA doubleheader tonight on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern with the Celtics hosting the Bulls, followed by the Timberwolves Bucks. Jets wideout Corey Davis out for Sunday against the Bills. He'll miss his 2nd game in a row with a knee injury. The NHL's Ottawa Senators are now for sale. Team owner Eugene Melnick died in March after battling an illness. One condition of any sale is that the team must remain in Ottawa.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, of course, the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app.
I thought you were answering the phone there for a minute.
Why?
You started with just ESPN Asheville. I'm used to if I hear that, you're answering the phone in the studio.
ESPN Asheville. Welcome into the program. If you're just joining us, well, obviously, you've already missed Beat the Chief. You can go back and check that out on the podcast. You can get it live or on demand right there on the iHeartRadio app. Absolutely free to download on your phone and take us with you everywhere you go. You can also see us on YouTube for absolutely free. I mean, unless you wanted to subscribe to the channel and join the House of Reprehensibles, and then it's just a small nominal fee just to show your appreciation for the entertainment that we provide for you every weekday afternoon, 3 to 5. And on Sundays.
3 to 6.
That's the first time I've done that.
Yeah, 3 to 6.
3 to 6, excuse me, here on ESPN Asheville. And, of course, with the extra content that we pump out there, including the Fantasy Game Time Decision show on Sunday mornings. No international game this week, so it's not going to be the super early start.
Which means I get to sleep for a little bit this Sunday, and I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy it while you can, because we will have another one of those coming up next week, as that will be the inaugural Germany game.
It's not a journey game. There will be no separate ways.
Do they play that one in the city, by the way?
Is that a journey song?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's separate ways the only one I
know. The lights go down
that
in the city.
Oh, is that what it's called?
The sun shines on the bay. No, the name of the song is Lights.
Oh.
But
I've heard that song just crucified karaoke-wise enough times.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the worst ones.
Oh, I mean, that's top 10. I see that and go, oh, I need to get away from here. Can I fake a heart attack?
That's one of those when somebody writes down on the sheet, I want to sing Journey. You go, well, I don't have that one.
Kid Rock, Sheryl Crow.
Something else.
Kid Rock, Sheryl Crow. Nope, I deleted it. We actually don't have it because I deleted it. Can you download it? Nope.
No,
I can't.
Can't find it.
Because I will shoot this computer with a Glock before I hear that song one more time.
It's going to be a fun weekend of football. Be sure to join us over at the Village Porch on North Merriman Avenue. Address?
I have a feeling 51 North Merriman
51,
Avenue.
Thank you. I keep thinking it's 61 for some reason, but 51 North Merriman Avenue.
Well, I mean, it's not like that'll send you to Canada.
That's true.
So if you boo-booed it, I could just correct you.
But you got to make sure to put in the North Merriman Avenue.
Yeah, don't go to 51 Merriman Avenue.
Yeah, that's a completely different place.
That's on the other side of the bike lanes. You won't enjoy the drive. You won't enjoy the drive through that. I deal with it every day. It's not great. Don't know whose idea that was, but not working the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much. North Merriman Avenue, though. The Village Porch where we hang out for the Sunday games. Each and every Sunday, join us there. They got a fantastic menu, and, it's just they got all the games on the televisions. It's hard to tell which way to look, and represented well by every fan in the NFL just about.
Last week we had a series of Jet fans, and we got real good and sad together.
Oh.
And then I went night-night.
Right. So the Fantasy Game Time Decision show going to be coming up this Sunday morning. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get the alert when we go live here from the Ingles Studio. Third hour of the program, we're going to start it off with the Daily Draft. And as we do on every Friday, it's where would we go? If we hit the $1.6 billion Powerball, where would we spend those dollars? What games would we go to?
I had no idea
weekend?
Powerball was up to that.
Yeah, it's massive.
I stopped on a heater run. You want a Powerball ticket? Why? Well, it's like $4 jillion. Well, when you put it that way, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Give me my quick pick.
Here's 20 US dollars. I don't know what you're supposed to hand me back, but you just give me whatever that's worth.
And hopefully it'll be worth $1.6 billion, which you will only have to pay $1 billion in taxes on. But hey, you're $600 million richer.
That's fine.
Not going to be quite enough for you to be able to buy the Washington Commanders, but maybe you could get a stake. Who knows? In the team, not an actual stake, because the $600 million would buy a lot of stakes. I could buy a lot of cows with $600 million. Anyway, Daily Draft this week.
Just don't name them. That's the one thing I've learned from farmers. If you name them, it's up there.
What?
said you can buy a lot of cows.
Yeah.
I said you can buy a lot of steaks. Don't name them. It makes the cow and the steak. It's not palatable.
You don't threaten me with a good time. I will eat Bessie. No doubt about it. Where would we go this weekend in the football world? Number one pick of the day. Is it mine?
No.
Dang!
You about said wordy dirty.
I almost wordy dirted.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you. I believe we all know where I'm headed.
Well, you should.
I will be headed to Athens, Georgia, to see the Tennessee Volunteers and the Georgia Bulldogs.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like you cheated me on that one.
I didn't.
Just to hurt my feelings.
I smoked you like a honey ham yesterday.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I did. I did.
In the stock up, stock down for the season?
Yes. Actually, I didn't beat you by that much.
I was going to say, it wasn't a horrible showing on my part like it usually is when we do drafting things.
I mean, I do feel, though, that this is a good week to have the second pick because there are two more very obvious answers.
I mean, there are really good games on the schedule this week. I'm gonna have to go to the other destination game, which would be Alabama and LSU. Night game in Death Valley, Tiger Stadium. I mean, it's an atmosphere that I've only heard wonderful stories about. I mean, there are some nightmare stories about tailgate parties at LSU as well. But I feel like that would be a whole lot of fun, and especially when Alabama's in town. That's a game you don't want to miss, regardless of your fandom.
So what game did I pick?
Tennessee, Georgia.
What game did you pick?
Alabama, LSU.
Just clarify that.
All coming up in the bangers at the end of this hour. And my second pick, I think I might go off the beaten path for this one.
This is usually where you go awry when we play
100%.
this game.
100%.
You're about to say something like Northeast Texas State.
No, it's not that far off, but I don't know that everyone looks at this as a game of the week. But it is, especially in one conference. In the Big 12, number 13 Kansas State hosted number 24 Texas.
Oh no.
There
we go.
There you go. Give it a little bit of oomph in there.
I will be interested to see who Kansas State plays at quarterback in this game. Because Adrian Martinez is back.
Mm-hmm.
So is it Will Howard, is it Adrian Martinez, or is it some combination of the two?
I mean, don't you dance with the girl that brought you? Isn't that the rule?
Well, it depends. I don't know that he's 100%. But I do know this. You better be prepared to score some points.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to need to. If you have a predilection to things that happen in the desert, over-under in that game is 54.5. Just throwing that out there. They might hit that in the first half. It's always a good sign when I see a number and audibly laugh out loud.
Okay.
Cole, we don't watch these games, do we?
I guess they're expecting a defensive battle.
I mean, they both have good defenses. They also have good offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see a ton of points being scored in that one.
Could be a high-scoring affair between Kansas State and Texas. So I will, I've never been to Manhattan before. Either one of them.
I've been to one Manhattan, and it's the one that I'm the one I haven't. I'm perfectly okay with it.
Right. Because what do you have compared to the other Manhattan? A football stadium?
New York has Central Park and all the Broadway and all the things. What do you have? We have a Chili's. It's down by the airport. It's $2 margs. Let's go. That's what we have in the Little Apple.
I much prefer flingers.
Or shenanigans.
Or tchotchkes.
A set number of flair. I feel like at some point we have to pick an NFL game.
Yeah, which one's it going to be?
Well, there are a couple for me, but I'm not quite ready to go there yet. Because there is a college game, and this is going to sound weird when I say it. But I remember the last time we did this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking at the line, and I don't have the greatest belief in one of these teams. So I could see this being maybe a less than ideal game. Maybe it's a little gross to watch, but it could be a fun game.
Okay.
I'm going Clemson Notre Dame.
That's not a bad pick. I had considered taking that one as well, because I think there's a chance that Clemson goes in and loses. I'm not saying it's a great chance, but I could see, I don't know. There's just, DJ Uiagalelei is going to start, but as we saw in the last game, it didn't go well for him, and he got pulled for Cade Klubnik. So, I mean, does that continue? Does that have an effect on this team and their mojo? Are they a split team at this point?
Here's my thought. If you took the Marshall loss out, I mean, the Stanford loss is not great, but I mean, Stanford does have a first-round NFL quarterback prospect who you will see in the 2-round mock draft going to a team that one of us has an allegiance to, and it ain't me.
Okay. Swing and a miss again. Great.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be upset with it.
Okay.
Because he comes with a toy.
Ah, okay.
I feel like this is going to be more defensive, lower scoring. I'm all over the under. I could see this being 17-13, one of those late score games, and I think this is going to be fun. I was late to the party on coming around on Notre Dame because I couldn't get away from the Marshall loss. They just looked completely listless on offense. But the defense is really talented. I mean, they have 3 players in my first mock draft. 2 rounds, you got 3 players on defense, and you're going up against an offense that I don't particularly believe in.
Isaiah Foskey has to be the top one.
Brandon Joseph's, the safety, is another one.
Okay.
This is a talented defense. If they can find any way to score, which, yes, I understand is going to be hard because Clemson is very talented.
Right.
But if you can score at all, I feel like that defense is going to stand up.
You got 2 stalwart defenses going up against offenses that struggle. So if you're a fan of defensive football, then by all means, this is going to be the game for you. 7:30 kickoff in Notre Dame. Clemson Tigers. Do they blow it? Because you lose one, you're out.
Oh, no doubt.
You got no shot at the college football playoff. You got a loss.
I'm not sure that they'll make it without a loss, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're up against a break.
Oh, he's
so
doing the thing.
I'm going to do the thing I do. I'm going to take the 3 minutes to think, plan out my draft strategy. Got 2 of the 3 games I wanted. Feel pretty good about that.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
An accident on 240 westbound is causing backup between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is seeing some delays between 146 and 280. More stop than go on 26 westbound between 280 and 191. 40 eastbound is seeing some backup between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as between 209 and Fines Creek Road heading westbound. Slow traffic on 40 westbound as well between 2740 and 2838. I'm Elena Begso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Stream now, pay never with Pluto TV. Subscriptions and fees don't exist.
Showtime!
We've got the blockbuster movies you want. And the TV shows you love to binge. So stream until your heart's content with hundreds of live channels and thousands of movies on demand, all streaming free on Pluto TV.
Yeah, let's do it.
Stream now, pay never.
Make plans now to attend the 76th Annual Asheville Holiday Parade presented by Bojangles. The parade rolls, dances, and marches through downtown Asheville on Saturday, November 19th, beginning at 11 a.m. Sponsors and partners make the parade possible. Thanks to Bojangles, Explore Asheville, Ingles Markets, City of Asheville, Go Minis Portable Storage, Winter Lights at the NC Arboretum, Apple Tree Honda, Deerfield, Sun Tzu Martial Arts, WLOS, Star 104.3, 99.9 Kiss Country, Kudzu Brands, Kimpton Hotel Eris, Aloft Asheville Downtown, and Asheville Color and Imaging.
Welcome your guests into a clean, healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety. From your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
Back in the Sportsocracy for the daily draft. If cost was was not a barrier, where are we going this week around the football world? Jeremy started it out with Tennessee at Georgia. That was the only number 1 pick that there could be. I followed it with Alabama at LSU, Kansas State at Texas. Kansas State coming off of that big blowout win over Oklahoma State. So I could see some points being put up in that game. And then Jeremy goes Notre Dame hosting Clemson. Third pick here, Jeremy.
I am going to go a game that I think is closer than Vegas does. I'm going Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans. Stylistically, this is a very different matchup, but I do think it stays close. I think Tennessee can hang with Kansas City.
I think they can as well.
I feel like they do the one thing that Kansas City might struggle with.
Mm-hmm. Which is there's a pill called Derrick Henry, and there's a dog called the Kansas City Chiefs. And they are just going to boop it down their throat.
This is one of those weeks that you need to run as often as humanly possible.
Absolutely. You run that football over and over and over again. My next pick, you know what? I'm going to stick with the Big 12. And I'm going to TCU. The number 7 team in the country, the TCU Horned Frogs, they have been very impressive this year. Obviously, with the undefeated start to the season, they take on a Texas Tech team that has been undersold all year long. Texas Tech can still put up points. But remember what I said about TCU and style points. I think that's the only reason they're getting overlooked by the committee is because they got a lot of close games. They've had to rally in several games this year. And they just haven't looked dominant. And I think maybe that's been part of the bulletin board material.
Oh, you keep saying that. I don't know what more you could want from a team. They're just hanging half 100 on a regular basis. I don't know what more you want.
But they're also giving up a bunch.
I mean, and I get that, but I don't know what more you want. I like this team a lot, but I do think this is a letdown week.
For TCU? It better not be. I mean, if you want to stay in the hunt here for the college football playoff, I think this would be another high-scoring affair. It's going to be fun Big 12 football to watch. And TCU's still got something to prove. So I will go Texas Tech, TCU. And then I got to go to an NFL game this week. You know, I think I want to go to MetLife. I want to see the New York Jets.
Oh, no.
And the Buffalo Bills. Look, I took the Jets plus the 11.5. I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be competitive.
And I think you might have been actively drinking before the show.
It may never be in doubt. The Buffalo Bills will probably control the game throughout. But the Jets are just a team that I feel like could be, you know, one surprising play away from making it really interesting. Maybe even winning the game outright.
Okay. We need to. It's time to order a drug test because I'm pretty sure you're doing something recreational.
Not so fast.
If we win this game, I'm telling you right now, you want to call in sick on Monday because I will be just insufferable for 2 weeks.
Oh, I know you will. I'm rooting for you, in fact.
That's not going to happen.
You say it's not going to happen. I think it's not going to happen. But I still think
we have always struggled with Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Since he came in this league, he has been a problem for us.
If Zack can put up a decent game, I think you got a chance. I know it is. But I still want to see it.
And if I could do backflips, I could be a backup dancer for J-Lo. I can't, so I shan't. All right, you left me one of the two games I wanted, which means I'm going to be a homer with the second one. My first one, I'm going to the Chargers at Atlanta. I think that may end up being the game of the week. I've always believed in the Chargers. I'm starting to believe in Atlanta.
Okay.
I can't explain it. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But you mix in the fact that is unequivocally the best stadium in the NFL. I think it could be one of the best games of the week. I feel okay about that. And my other one, I'm going to need your use of a button. And it's a button that I played in the first Bangers segment. It's a song that's very near and dear to my heart. If you plan on watching Florida State Miami, you should get real comfortable hearing that song. I don't love laying points in a rivalry like this. I got news for you. This is one of those times they're not even close. That Mario Cristobal train, holy smokes, it has come off the tracks quick.
Mm-hmm.
They just got housed by Duke, who, oh, by the way, can't score.
Yep.
They hung half a hundy on them. What do you think Jordan Travis and my guy Jeff Wilson are going to do to him?
Right.
It's Johnny Wilson, trade deadline on the brain. Been a while since I've been to one of these games, and frankly, it would be nice to go see one that's 42-3.
Yeah. Florida State, Miami. Final pick for Jeremy Greene in this week's daily draft of where we're going to go around the football world. And the last one, you know what? It's a Big 12 week for me. I feel like there are several interesting games in the Big 12 this week. And, you know, I said I've never been to Manhattan. I've never been to Lawrence either.
Oh.
And I want to go. Kansas, Oklahoma State.
You want to watch Kansas play the backups for Oklahoma State?
Mm-hmm.
You do realize they're missing like 11 starters, right?
I understand that. I mean, how do you think Kansas State was able to beat them so badly last week?
Although you could get Jalen Daniels back this week, which would be, unfortunately for OK State, I'm afraid if he comes back, this could get ugly in a hurry.
So I'll go Oklahoma State and Kansas for the final pick.
I feel like I won that one. I feel like I won that one after the first pick.
You did. Did.
I win.
Yeah. I mean, this was like the Halloween candy. Whoever took the Reese's Cups was going to win.
I got Reese's Pieces. I felt like I at least showed myself reasonably well.
You did. You got close. But, you know, come at the king. You best not miss. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
The king of Legoland, maybe. You be stealing my lines.
I am the king of my own domain. It's going to be a fun weekend of football. There's no doubt about it. And, yeah, it's all going to kick off with playoff football tonight right here on ESPN Asheville and on News Radio 570 WWNC. We got high school football coming your way. We got the Reynolds Rockets and A.L. Brown in the first round of the playoffs. Forest View taking on Tuscola for those of you up in Haywood County listening on AM 1400 and on TuscolaRadio.com. You know what? It's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy. Message: Don't do crime.
terms. Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
It's week 1 of the high school football playoffs in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, and we've got AC Reynolds hosting A.L. Brown. The Wonders will be coming up from Kannapolis to take on a Rocket team that finished the conference season undefeated and ready for the postseason. Sports Tank Friday gets us started at 6:30. Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff shows at 7. On AM 1400, Tuscola is at home hosting Forest View. The Mountaineers look to bounce back after the loss to West Henderson. Cowboy John Roten and the gang get you started at 7. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Festivals, football, flannels. Some say fall is their favorite time of year. And this fall, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against COVID-19 variants. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster shot appointment as soon as you're eligible. And don't forget to enjoy the foliage. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
That one coming up at the bangers in just a little bit. Tennessee taking on Georgia, and, you know, it's one of those things that, as a Georgia fan, you never wanted to see Tennessee come back with a vengeance. And boy, have they.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this offense is terrifying.
Yeah, they are absolutely terrifying.
They have 2 of the top 7 receivers in this next draft class, and that doesn't include Brew McCoy, who is just an absolute gigantic target monster.
Right.
I am not sure Georgia can score with them. You have been very dismissive of that.
It's not that I'm dismissive. It's just that I disagree. I feel like we can score with them. They are not good defensively.
And yet this is still the best defense you've played yet. And I'm not sure it's all that close.
Yeah.
And you've struggled with middling defenses. But we're second in all of D1 college football in yards. Yeah. Look at that schedule again.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Bowers is really the X factor to me.
100%.
Because if I'm Mike Bobo, he should just be inundated with targets, because that's the one thing you have that I don't know that they have an answer for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure anybody has an answer for him.
It's not Mike Bobo anymore. He's been gone for a while.
He's an analyst at Georgia. The only reason I know that
Monken.
Todd
Monken. Todd Monken.
He's the play call. Bobo's on the staff, though. The only reason I know that, I completely forgot he existed until somebody said he was a candidate at Charlotte.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But he's no longer calling the shots, which we're all happy about.
Well, you should be. Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong M name.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the offense. I like the mixture that we have. And Tennessee struggles in pass defense because, I mean, they score so quickly. You have to play that game with them. It has to be a track meet. The question is, can they sustain it? That's the big question I have about Georgia is, can you put together all 4 quarters? If you have these instances like we've seen in some games this year, Missouri game, the Kent State game, last week against Florida, where you just all of a sudden has struggled to find the ability to stop somebody for, half of a quarter, you're toast. You will not win this game.
You do that offensively too. And you've done it against horribly inferior competition. You have one of those quarters here against Tennessee, you will be blown out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to score points, and they're going to score them quick.
Yep. Brock Bowers, obviously, he is an X factor. Kenny McIntosh is a hell of a running back. I don't have any doubts about the offense. Where I have my doubts is about the defense. I mean, Kelly Ringo's a hell of a player.
He's been very disappointing, though.
Yeah, but I think that's because it's all on him. I mean, obviously, they have talent. They have great recruiting classes over and over and over again, but this is not the secondary that you had last year. You don't have a Lewis Sin back there.
Nope.
You don't have that guy to lean on. You've got Kelly Ringo. He's the one. He's the one that you lean on. And when you're throwing out weapons like Tennessee can, it's going to be tough. I see this going down much like the Alabama game did. It's going to be that high scoring of an affair. It will come down to the last possession and who can win the game. Georgia's at home, so I give them a little bit of a bump over that. But this isn't like Tennessee. And I know some people are going to, will be surprised that I say that, but this is not, Eric Ainge, there was a story on CBS today where former Tennessee quarterback Eric Ainge was talking about how that's not going to be as big of a problem as people are making it out to be.
It won't be.
Because Georgia.
Because this is old hat for them now. That's why and I said this when they played Alabama. The reason that I was so heavily on Tennessee, everybody gets out, or Alabama gets everybody's best shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dispute that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have it shut the town down because very often these fans, they show up in the off chance. That's the first time I can remember in a long time that a team really felt like they had a chance that hadn't been here in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's one thing. You've been doing this for several years. There's a momentum, and I'm telling you, these Tennessee fans are going to travel better than you think. There will be more Tennessee fans in that crowd than you think.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have and this is one of those psychology things. I have a funny feeling there will be, it's probably a low percentage. There's probably a percentage of Georgia fans that are going, I don't know that I want to be in the stadium for this. I don't know that I want to be there to watch what's getting ready to happen.
No. I'm going to disagree with you there, partner, because, unless they were able to sell their tickets for $5,000 to somebody
that's
from
another
Tennessee.
That's another part of this, is that you start seeing that, and I've always called him the passive fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the corporate fan that gets these and takes clients, or whatever the case may be, and there's more of that than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And they start seeing ridiculous ticket prices, and they go, oh, look, well, I can make the money and watch it at my house. Well, the problem is that you're selling that ticket to a Tennessee fan. Because there's virtually no chance that a Georgia fan is the one that's going to end up buying this. So that diminishes the atmosphere. I'm going to level. I don't think this game's all that close from a talent perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Georgia lives on their name. And I think you're going to see it pretty quick. Tennessee has this, I'm trying to think of the politically correct way to say this. They have this little brother syndrome of we've been picked on for so long. Well, now we're the bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw it last week against Kentucky. There were style points there. That game was over in 10 minutes. There were a lot of style points there of you can't stop us,
mm-hmm.
and we're not going to stop ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I'm most curious about, Josh Heupel had a wrinkle for Alabama because he had broken down that defense, and he figured out, all I have to do is stack the receivers on the outside, and they cannot figure out how to defend this because they would line a safety up over there, and whoever the safety went with, that's where the ball went. That's been, and this is going to sound not exactly how I want it to come out, that's been the transformation of Hendon Hooker in the Tennessee offense. It's simplified down to the most extreme point because it's all about what the defense does. That makes this so hard to defend Because now, in the course of a game, you have to get out of a tendency that Josh Heupel's picked apart over your entire career.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did to Alabama. They have 4 secondary players that are going to go in this draft. He picked them apart. And I don't see how he's not going to do it to Georgia, too. I don't care where this game's played. This feels like one of those destiny games to me. And everything in me is telling me Tennessee by 1,000,000.
I think that's completely out of the question.
If you took the name off the jerseys and you watched this Georgia team, they are not a top 5 team in this country. There is nothing you can say to me that will convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You have played a MAC-level schedule, and you've looked largely unimpressive doing that.
A MAC-level schedule.
You played the 6 worst teams in the or 5, whatever wins you got in the SEC. You played the 5 worst teams in this conference.
Sure.
And you struggle with 3 of them.
I mean, Missouri.
You struggle with Missouri. You struggle with Florida in the second half. If Florida could get out of their own way, which they can't, that would have been far more of a game than it was.
It got closer in the third quarter than you wanted it to. But, I mean, again, the game was never in doubt. And then you absolutely
you watched
blew
that
the
with
doors off
rose-colored
of everybody else.
You watched that with rose-colored glasses because there was a time I'm sitting here going, I don't know that anybody other than Florida can stop them right now. And then they stopped themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There was a momentum rolling downhill where your offense stalled out, looked like it was in neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine when you have Anthony walking interception Richardson on the other side.
Right.
Hendon Hooker ain't doing that.
No.
So, I mean, and this may be one of those times that I've just gotten locked into what I've seen the most recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not impressed with Georgia in the least. Haven't been. They wouldn't have been in my top 6. I've said that for a week.
Mm-hmm.
You have done nothing that has actually impressed me. Tennessee has impressed me more every single week. And now you're a 10-point dog. There's one thing, when you have a team that has that chip on their shoulder, when you slap them in the mouth, they tend to get even angrier.
Right.
And that's how all of this is setting up to me. Of now you've slighted them. The one fear I had was that you start reading your own press clippings. And then this comes out as a 10-point lean one way. How many times do you think Josh Heupel said that this week?
Oh, a bunch.
Because I'll bet it's 100.
Oh, yeah. You're the number 1 team in the country, and you are a double-digit dog. No respect.
And I hate to tip where I'm headed here, but this is one of those times.
We all know where you're headed. It's not a secret. And it's fine. It's completely fine. Because I can see this game going Tennessee's way just as easy as I can see it going Georgia's way. But, I don't see much of a chance that this turns into a blowout, especially with Tennessee being in Georgia. It's going to matter. It's not going to be like, this is not going to be the most the most intimidating atmosphere you've ever seen, but it still matters.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt it matters. No doubt it matters. I have a funny feeling Monday's not going to be great for you.
Well,
and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
It may not be, but you got to lose sometime, or do you? You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and when it comes to losing, you'll never lose like you will with the PhD weight loss program. 90 pounds since last Thanksgiving. In a year, my life has completely done a 180. I was sitting at 300 pounds last Thanksgiving and going, this is just who I am. And then I met with Dr. Ashley Lucas and the folks at PhD, and they convinced me, no, you can do a lot better. And now I'm almost 200 pounds, and I feel like a completely different guy.
I had never gotten to an aggressive weight. I had just gotten chunky. I'm 6'5". I had been lazy with my decisions, and I was living a pretty sedentary lifestyle. That all changed with PhD. They got me on the right course with what I eat. In less than a year, I'm back to my high school weight. I've slid into a whole new wardrobe, and it's thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
Sports fans, I know we like to gamble, but don't gamble with your health. Take the sure thing. MyPhDWeightLoss.com. You will not be disappointed. They can change your life, and they will give you the motivation to continue with your journey. MyPhDWeightLoss.com. Bangers for the weekend are coming up next here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
An accident is causing delays on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between NC 146 and NC 280. For those of you heading westbound on 26, expect delays between NC 280 and 191. 40 eastbound is backed up between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road, and slow traffic on 40 westbound between US 19 and NC 1200. I'm Elena Vegso with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Friday Health Plans. Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance, with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com and see if you qualify for $10 insurance. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
This is too good not to share. I just shopped Kohl's limited time Black Friday early access deals and earned $15 Kohl's cash for every $50 spent. That means I saved on an Amazon Kids tablet and earned $15 Kohl's cash. Got a cookware set and a vacuum to earn $30 Kohl's cash on each. And I got an extra 15% off. Doesn't really get better than that.
Amazon coupons do not apply. Select deals valid through November 6th. Sharp deals and 15% off are valid through November 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Where can you find gifts for anyone and holiday inflatables for any home? Lowe's, actually. Save big on top tool brands like your choice of a DeWalt 20-volt Max Drill Kit or Impact Driver Kit. Was $159, now $99. All backed by the Lowe's Price Promise. Plus, outdoor inflatables starting at $22.98. Check back daily for deals during Black Friday month and start saving now at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 11/9 while supplies last. Terms apply. Learn more at Lowes.com/price promise.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Coffee store closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
My favorite time of the week. It's time for the last set of bangers. These are my favorite picks of the week. First, Texas is a 2.5-point favorite at Kansas State. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And the more I've looked at this, the more I don't care what quarterback plays for Kansas State. I don't see how any of them can contend with Quinn Ewers. Mulleted man takes them out. Give me the Longhorns -2.5. Next, Alabama is a 13.5-point favorite at LSU. 3 things you can count on in life: death, taxes, and Brian Kelly gets slaughtered as an underdog. He's been a dog 5 times, more than 10 points in the last 4 years. They've gotten beat by 3 scores or more in 4 of the 5. Alabama houses them. But Jerry, that's favorites. You don't do that, bangers.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Spell Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. Central Florida takes on Memphis in Memphis. Memphis 3.5-point dog. Memphis has covered each of its past 6 as a home underdog. Central Florida is not a good football team, but the public just saw them beat an overrated Cincinnati team that's swaying the number. Lines off, Tigers outright. Auburn is a 12.5-point dog at Mississippi State. 90% of the money on Auburn. It's the fired coach bump. Brian Harson's out. One of your great legends, Carnell Cadillac Williams, is in. I'm not going to tell you they win, but I will tell you they cover. Auburn plus 12.5. Notre Dame is a 3.5-point dog at home against Clemson. This is just the 7th time Notre Dame has been a home dog since 2014. First 6 times, 5-1 against the spread, 4 outright wins. They do it again. They beat Clemson. Give me Notre Dame. And finally, beat Alabama.
Yeah, they did. They did beat Alabama, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a super fun game. I feel like, this is the expression every Georgia fan has right now of, there's no lies. There's no, like Stephen Tao said in the comments that when you were on your little roll about how Georgia is going to get, demolished by Tennessee, that I looked like I was being scorned by someone. There are no lies in anything you've said.
Look, every one of these teams that has stepped up to the big boy table, whether it's Clemson, whether it's Georgia, all of them. You take away the Ohio States and the Alabamas, they all had a game like this. And look, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been wagering on college sports since A, before it was legal, B, since I was in high school. I remember the game for virtually every one of these teams, where I look at the line and I go, you're allowing your bias of the name on the front to overlap the names on the back. And that's what I'm seeing out of Vegas right now. They're looking at this going, it can't be real because Georgia is so clearly better. I look at the Vegas poll. You see it. You're just setting the line completely in the face of what your poll says. It doesn't make any sense. And Tennessee, they could get housed. This situation could be too big for them. I don't think it is. I think they're the best team in the country. I've said it for 3 full weeks now.
If the situation was going to be too big for this team, I think it would have come in the Alabama game. Because let's face it, Georgia's the defending national champions and all, but there is still a standard in college football. And it's still maintained by the great Satan himself. Alabama is still the culture that everybody wants to strive to. Kirby's done a great job with Georgia, but there's none of that. I don't think there's any chance Tennessee comes in here and is deer in the headlights and just gets road graded. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Again, I'm not saying necessarily get road graded.
Again, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. And, I would love to see both of these teams end up in the playoff.
If you remember how good Alabama was, I think this could be almost as good.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We will be back with you on Monday here on ESPN Asheville at 3 o'clock. Don't forget Fantasy Game Time Decisions show to get you set for the Fantasy Day Sunday morning only on YouTube.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, a few showers for the weekend ahead and very mild temperatures. A taste of spring in the air for this November weekend. Our low tonight, 57 degrees, 68 on Saturday with a shower or two. Chance for a light shower Sunday, 72 degrees. And mid-70s Monday and not far from records at the airport Monday afternoon. It takes us till Wednesday, Thursday next week to get back into the 60s for high temps. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
An accident is causing delays on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between NC 146 and NC 280. For those of you heading westbound on 26, expect delays between NC 280 and 191. 40 eastbound is backed up between Fines Creek Road and 276, as well as 40 westbound between 209 and Fines Creek Road, and slow traffic on 40 westbound between US 19 and NC 1200. I'm Elena Vegso with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge rolls on. Make your picks by the Thursday night game at ESPNAVL.com. Weekly winners win a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and a register for the grand prize, a year's worth of golf for two at Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.